He came with a smile of kindness, a smile of confidence, but by no means arrogance. A multicultural guy that has clear ideas on and off the pitch. Mr. Leon Balogun, welcome.
Thank you.
From the short conversations we had so far, you seem like a cool guy who knows what he wants in life. And what is it that you want?
In life or
in general, yes.
Freedom. Freedom. Especially in times like this. The world is in chaos, I would say. So if you would ask me what I would wish for right now for myself and the people I love, just freedom, to have peace. Not having to worry about safety, about what's on the table, what's in the fridge, just peace of mind.
You have been a pro for many years. At what point would you say that football shaped, formed your character?
I think that started long before I became a professional footballer, because I don't think I was always the most talented player in my team, especially when I was in academy levels. I never played in a classical academy like you maybe know it, but you say grassroots football in one team. And I think looking back now, everybody says they want to become a professional footballer. They dream of it as a young boy. I think I made that decision. And even when it was not even looking realistic, when I was maybe 14, 15, 16, when at that time players started to have an agent, around 16, 17, the first ones had an agent. They were scouted by the bigger clubs. In Berlin, that was Hertha BSC. Or even outside of Berlin, like Wolfsburg, Werder Bremen, Bayern München, these type of teams. I was never number one pick. I don't think these teams even considered me, but I think I made that decision early, and that shaped me, the way I approach training, the way I approach life, because I remember many weekends when you start to explore what's out there in life as a young boy. You go out with your friends, you go to your first parties, you meet the first girls, all these type of things. And I was quite slow when it comes to these things, because I said, right, I want to go out with you boys, but I have a game tomorrow, so I can't come. So I think it shaped my character from early. And then obviously, as I went through the years, there's incidents maybe that make that even stronger, that lifestyle where you really say, okay, you know what, you need to commit fully, because the first 4 years of my career, I was in a professional team, Hanover back then, but I played mainly for the second team. I think I made 3 appearances for the first team in 2 years, so I got released, went to the second team of Werder Bremen, but trained with the first team all the time. I played 3 times for the first team in official games as well. And then you have to think again, okay, what am I going to do? Because this is not what I dreamed of. Yes, I'm with the first team players in the dressing room around Per Mertesacker, Claudio Pizarro, big players, but you're not on the pitch with them unless you're in training. So, yeah, I would say my character was shaped long before I became a professional footballer. But I didn't realize at the time, probably.
Based on your experience, what are the most essential qualities a player must have to make a career in football?
Well, I mean, it's obvious you need some ability at least. But the biggest one for me, or the biggest ones, are the right mentality. Like I said before, you need to commit, you need resilience, because we all know your Mbappé's, Ronaldo, Messi, Ronaldinho, you know, all the big names, De Bruyne, you can name so many players, Neymar, all of them. There's new ones coming now through, like Musiala, Doué from Paris Saint-Germain. There's so many, but for me, I always refer to them as the top 1%, top 3%. Those are the world stars. There's many players that if you have them up here, there's a lot of players, they range from here until here. They play in the highest leagues and then down to the third league maybe, or fourth league even, but they're all professionals. So you need a lot of resilience, because me personally, I was at 26, I was unemployed and I received money from the government for 6 months. And nowadays, probably that could be almost the death of your career. Back then, times were still a bit different. It was 2014. But I played my first game for Nigeria, broke my foot, came back to my team, Düsseldorf at the time, and they said they're not going to renew my contract, and there was only 3 months left on my contract. So that was tough. But like I said, you need resilience and you need belief and faith in yourself. You need to, if you fall up 7 times, you need to get up 8. That's my biggest, probably the biggest one I can share. Resilience on top of your ability, on top of your talent, and the mentality you need to be able to suffer. But that all is really in resilience. There's many aspects of it, mentally, physically. You need to be able to suffer through tough periods.
Mm-hmm. Leon, you joined the club from Glasgow Rangers. What are you bringing to this team?
I think I said it when I first signed. Obviously, you just mentioned my experience. There's a lot of experience. I played in a lot of big games. I've played in the World Cup in 2018. I played in an AFCON, African Cup of Nations, got the bronze medal. I was part of the Rangers team that made it to the Europa League final. I've won every trophy domestically in Scotland. Played 75 times, I think, in Bundesliga. Premier League, I wish I would have had more games, but I've played in the Premier League. I think, without trying to sound too arrogant, but I think that should give myself some confidence. I've seen football in many different leagues. I've played football on different continents, on a very hot one for the national team, almost 50 times until now, which should help me in Cyprus as well. My body memory, my muscle memory, hopefully. And apart from that, I think I'm a quite pleasant guy to have around. I made myself a promise, or me and one of my best friends made ourselves a promise. He's retired by now. I came to Hanover and he was the shooting star, kind of. He's 3 years younger than me, but he stopped football early already. We made ourselves a promise that when we get older, we will look after younger players. We will speak to them, because that's almost 20 years ago, so 2008, my professional journey started. And it was a bit rougher for young players back then. You were not really allowed to say too much. It could be quite rough. And also, people wouldn't be too considerate. So nowadays, if you look at young players, they have so much opportunity. They are being taken care of in so many ways. Almost to the extent where sometimes you feel they're a bit soft, or the treatment that they receive is too soft. You need to be a bit tougher on them. Because for us it was very tough, and we always said, let's find that balance. So I've always been the type of guy that tries to, be there for the players and tune into them. I'm not necessarily the type of leader who's that big statue in the dressing room, talks all the time loud and gives big speeches. I'm somebody who maybe grabs a player, I lay my arm around him and say, hey, listen, talk to me. How do you feel? What's going on? How are you mentally? And that's the type of leadership role I take.
Mm-hmm. You've been with the team 2 or 3 weeks now. Did you manage to blend in with them? Are you feeling comfortable in the dressing room, in the team?
Yeah, they made it very easy for me. I think there's a lot of respect based on my experience and my career. But the group overall, they're very funny. The vibes are high. I think we can still raise our levels a little bit overall, but they made me feel welcome very, very easily. You just pulled me away from playing Uno with them, so that tells you a little bit about it.
Mm-hmm. Aris has a new coach, new coaching staff members. What are your thoughts about the team and the challenges lying ahead?
Well, I mean, I just met the coach for the first time when I signed. He called me before. We had a very, very good conversation, which was obviously a big driver in getting me here. I don't have a comparison to before, but like I said, also the staff members, they've been very welcoming. I think the group also took to them really well. And I think if you look at the last season, there have been a few big games that decided the championship, and I think in the end it was quite narrow, 4 points. And I think this is where we need to start the work. This is what we really need to address, what we need to improve, that we become big game players. And yeah, I know there's a lot of young players here, but they need to rise to the occasion. We need to get them ready for those moments and make sure that they perform when they need to perform.
You played top-level football, as you mentioned before, Bundesliga, Premier League, World Cup, Scotland. What can you possibly aspire to achieve that you will say that all this hard work still is worth it?
Trophies. Very simple. Trophies. We can play in the Conference League as well. It will be a tricky game or a tough game for us. But I mean, if you look at this stage of my career and at my age, I could have waited throughout summer and see what's happening and wait for a move to, I don't know, what everybody's talking about right now, Saudi, and try to get like a big money contract. But I'm still very ambitious because I mentioned before, my career started quite slow. I didn't really get to play on the level that I wanted to play before 26, 27. So I still have that hunger, I still have that drive in me, which is probably why the reason for me, or which will probably be the reason that I will clash with a few players in the training pitch as well, because I will demand from them and they can demand the same way from me, because I want to win. So that was probably the biggest aspect, the prospect of playing in European football, and to challenge for the title and the cup, obviously. So.
Okay, I heard you said before that you play with some great players through your career. Okay, there is an everlasting debate, but for many, you faced the GOAT, Lionel Messi, in 2018 World Cup game. What was the experience?
It was nice. Took a picture with him afterwards, had a small chat. We swapped jerseys as well, so that is probably...
We would like to have that picture, huh?
Say again?
We would like to have that picture. To
I think it's on my... Did I post it on Instagram? I'm not sure. I'll find it for you. I can send it to you. But yeah, no, it was very nice. Obviously, he punished us badly. He scored an unbelievable goal against us. But yeah, then again, if you're in the game, you don't have time to think about it too much. And to be fair, Argentina, they didn't play their best tournament. They got kicked out the next round then, because if we would have held them to the draw, then we would have advanced to the quarterfinals, where they faced France. And France won the World Cup obviously that year, and I think they beat them 4-2 or something, I'm not sure, in the next round, but quite convincingly.
Yeah.
So yeah, Messi, that was great. But then again, little story. I met Michael Jordan this summer while I was on holidays in Italy, and that was much more exciting because I didn't have to think about defending or anything. I could just
enjoy the moment, huh?
I could just stand in the presence of greatness, talk to him for a little while. That was actually, yeah, I was a bit starstruck. I think that's fair to say. But yeah, if you get the chance to meet these type of people, if you get the chance to share the pitch, but also compete, that's the main thing. If you play against any of those great players, whether it's Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, Mbappe, whoever, in the moment I think you cannot think about, oh, it's him. You need to think, you know what, I'm going to compete now and I'm going to show you, today I'm going to give you hell. Chances are they turn it around and make it hell for you, but at least you need to go into these games with the spirit of, okay, like, I adore what you're doing. You're, for me, probably the greatest, the GOAT, you are. That's my take on the debate. But I have to park that for now because I want to win a game of football.
As I was expecting, the conversation with you it's very nice, and time goes by, so I had to drop some questions. So it won't be half an hour interview, but I have one last.
You just make part 1 and part 2.
I have one last question for you, Leon. Life's strange. I guess you never expected to play alongside Conor again, huh?
You know what? It's the 3rd time we play together now, so I didn't think about it maybe, but then if you tell me...
You've been together to Brighton as well?
No, he left and I came.
Okay.
But I went to Rangers, he was there, then I left and I came back. So that was the 2nd time and now it's the 3rd time. They say all good things come in threes, so job accomplished. But yeah, like I said before, if you would have asked me, you think you're going to play together again, I probably would have said, I don't think so. But if you look at it now, you have to say and you have to admit, well, it's not a surprise.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the conversation.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best and stay healthy.
Thank you very much.